I'll knock you down one by one.
To your positions! Trash, in your can!
I see right through you! How you feel?
Resistance is futile!
Let's go! Yeah!
Let's take over and fight! Ha! I see! Ow!
Resistance is futile!
Huh, gotcha! Let's go!
Release! Go! Pathetic. Pathetic. How you feeling? Time for the donut!
Resistance is futile!
Hit him with this!
Let's take over and
Yeah!
I messed up.
Ha, yeah!
Ha! Ha! You're weak. Here's my all.
Through the...
Right people, right place. Great formation.
The obvious outcome.
I'll keep getting better and better! What's a I grew again?
My thighs.
I'm catching up! Let's start the hunt!
Right people, right place. Great formation.
Can you stand?
Get it!
How you feeling?
Can you stand?
We should be able to pull through.
Time to aim and
Go! Go!
Hey!
Darn it! You're weak! You're weak!
Here's my all.
defense is a good offense.
This is my chance!
Go! I see right through you. Take that!
You gotcha!
Yeah!
Let's go!
And now, activate! Was that a good hit?
Here's my all.
To your positions! Trash in your can!
Ha! Fall! Ha! Here, take that! After you pathetic, die.
Here's another.
Free! All right! Resistance is futile!
Right people, right place.
Go!
Great formation.
You little... Let's go! Yeah!
It's garbage day! Take him out! This...
Thanks. What? How?
Until it breaks!
I'll knock him out.
Got perfect time! Ha! Go!
Whoa! We won!
That's about right.
I'll keep getting better and better for my
Did I
family's
get
honor!
stronger?
This is the fruit of my labor!
Level up!
I bit the bullet and asked Fanty to hide the curio for me. But Fanty hasn't returned since. I'm sure everything's fine, but...
Hey! Auntie? Huh? Hey!
Oh, sorry. No. It's me. M-E. Me. Got it?
Yeah! Auntie! Leave it to me!
Leave it to you, huh? You're getting better at speaking. Okay, try writing it out yourself.
Yeah! Here!
Well, she is just a kid.
Auntie! Auntie!
It's Nachi. Na-chi-ru. Got it?
Auntie!
Sheesh. You little scamp. I feel like I should be doing something more important right now. I guess there's nothing else I can do since I've been told to stay put at home. And Fanty hasn't returned yet.
Roo! Perry! Time to eat! Meat was cheap today, so I cooked some for you. Can Perry really not eat anything?
Well, she's a Manania, so no.
Right. Animated through magic. I still can't believe she's really just a doll. How curious.
Woo! Woo!
Hey! Don't play with your food.
She reminds me of you as a child, Rue.
Hey, that's mine!
Nom! Nommy nom! Hey, Achi, eat!
Oh. You're offering me the meat from my own plate? How nice of you.
Oh, so that's what she said. It's so impressive that you know what she's saying.
Achi! Hey, eat! Hey, eat!
You're so good at talking, Perry.
Hey, Achi!
I hope she hasn't been eating any rats. Please don't eat any here. I'm begging you. You sure you're okay with this? I thought you hated magic.
What?
Right. If you're able to eat Perry, then perhaps the guards outside can too. Maybe I'll bring some to them.
No, I don't think they'll take anything. I'm glad Mom is okay with Perico. I guess I gotta thank Mirage for persuading her. It's still bugging me, though. How could I have ever forgotten about Perico? It feels like there's still something I'm forgetting.
Are you ready? Let's go!
Time to aim. Can you stand?
How you?
Here's my all!
Form up! Ha! Ta! Go! Ta! Go! The perfect timing!
I'll make it hurt.
Resistance is futile!
Defense is a good offense. Scatter! Now's my chance! Those who survive win!
Level
I'm
up.
even cuter. JK.
Hey, Mom. Can I ask you something?
What's the matter, Rue?
Why don't I have a dad?
What? A dad?
Yeah. Everyone else has one. Erina, Dinah, everyone.
Right. He's not here right now. He's very far away. But you do have a father, too.
I do? Really, Mom?
That's right. And you also have a grandfather. You know I love you to bits, too, don't you?
Yeah, I know. I love you too, Mom. Huh? What's this? Yuck!
Rue! What did you just swallow? Don't tell me! You didn't eat this, did you?
Huh? Yeah, I did.
Spit it out right now! Out! Oh no!
Huh?
Come here! Mr. Pumpleton! Mr. Pumpleton!
What's the matter? You look as if you've seen a ghost, Miss Colbert.
It's Natsuru! She ate a fragment of ash! Oh, please! Call for a doctor!
She did what now? That isn't good at all. But it's nighttime. I don't know if anyone will come. I'll bring some water over. You must rinse your mouth right away.
Huh? Okay.
Come on, Rue. Rinse out your mouth. Hurry! We're going to the doctor.
Oh. I'm sorry, Mom. I'm really sorry.
Where am I? Yuru? Oh, that's right. Kit, where's Kit Kat?
Kit's dead. Her body's in the other room. She was shot in the eye, the head, and the heart.
What? But she's coming back to life, right?
Kit's no witch, or even a normal woman. But she certainly wasn't immortal.
She's not a witch? Or immortal? But she told me she is! And that she's come back to life countless times!
Her supposed immortality is derived from my prophecies. Hence why she miraculously, no, inevitably survived so many close calls. But that's just the illusion of immortality.
Can't be. But...
The dead do not return to life, no matter who or what they are.
Hey, shouldn't you be sad about this?
She appeared before me one day as I wandered through a garbage dump. I watched as she tried to do a magic trick. She was incredibly terrible at it. Made me laugh. Me, someone who'd forgotten how to laugh. She taught me that even I could live the life I wished to live. That's when my dull gray world suddenly came to life with vivid color. Truly, she became my light.
What was she? exactly?
I don't know where she came from. She was free, wild, and unstoppable. Been like that ever since we first met. Such extraordinary intelligence. She always said that if she had the time, she wanted to find the truth about the world and the whole universe. Kit knew far more than I about this world, and saw through many of its mysteries. She lived with the hope of being freer than anyone else. As true a witch as there ever was one. But the reason why she signed up for the stiff and structured society was all for my sake. She took pity on me. The one the world revered and expected to protect it. She was the first one to notice my distress. She tried to free me from my duties as an oracle. That foolish oddity. She always said it was for my sake. But she never listened to a thing I said. A fickle fool. So isn't it? Isn't it obvious I'd be crushed about this?
Yuru.
I see. That's the whole story. Huh? Sure explains a lot. You played the charade, deceiving us witches. Talk about some nerve.
You're still alive?
Ha! I was absolutely slaughtered. The Ghilruda who fought Kit Kat is dead. But that was a simulacrum. Or maybe it's easier to call it a copy. Now I finally found the great Oracle, Yuru. She wants you dead. No hard feelings.
What do you gain by betraying us and handing her over to them?
While the risks have been high, I shall gain something difficult to acquire through other means. Cecilia. She promised to share some knowledge with me. Something I've searched for all my life. The secret technique to fully replicate myself. That's what...
Don't make me laugh. That's your goal? A harem of your own copies? It's a pipe dream for a true narcissist.
How well you know me. The only joy in life is found in the constant, total indulgence of pleasure, Madame Oracle.
That's it? You killed everyone just to fulfill a selfish ambition?
Is that so bad? Life is all about fulfilling your desires. They're the only thing that gives us joy. Don't you see? My status and authority mean nothing compared to such ecstasy. Get it now? The lives and suffering of anyone else is as insignificant as rubbish to me. After all, my own face, my breasts, everything was crafted with magic. Would you say that's wrong? I don't care who criticizes me. My life is for my own pleasure. In fact, the whole world is all for me. Have you wrapped your brain around that yet? This whole world exists for my sake. Pursuing my own total satisfaction is what gives my life meaning and makes my world go round. As if you could ever comprehend that.
Didn't your mother ever teach you? Assholes like you need to sit down and shut up!
How futile. I don't know if Claristia taught you that, but your magic isn't near enough to face mine.
Lightning isn't the only thing Claris taught me. She taught me to do whatever it takes to win.
Nachiru! What are you doing?
Vanity, I'm giving you all my magic. No,
my life. Do what you will with it.
Here? You plan to manifest your puppet soldiers in this world? There's no way you could ever manage that.
Summon them here and take her down! Which brigade? Come forth!
Let the battle begin!
Time to aim and shoot. Resistance is futile.
Can you stand?
Can you stand?
That's nothing.
This'll do.
Resistance is futile. Let's go. This is the best formation.
Scatter! I got it! Time for the donut!
Tip was too bad. Resistance is futile. Huh. Let's go!
Guess this does it. You're weak.
Take that!
I failed.
Yeah, let's go!
How? What? Thank.
This is nice.
You can count on me.
This is the best formation. Can you hit?
Now take that!
Take this! Threw them off balance!
What's going on?
Resistance is futile!
I can't move.
Until it breaks!
Sorry.
Resistance is futile!
Sorry. Let's
I'm ashamed.
I think I can do it!
Thanks for this power.
To your positions! Trash this in your cans! Take that!
How you feeling?
Until it breaks! I'll knock him out!
Time for the dono!
Yeah! Take that!
Ready for orders.
Strike him! Resistance is futile! Time to aim and shoot! Oh! Chin up! Resistance is futile! This is not...
Thanks.
I'll knock him out! Two...
Yeah, now!
Keep it... Oh! Hit him Resistance is futile! Hit him with this! Until it breaks! To your positions!
It's
Trash
stalled!
at in your can!
Looks like that's done with. A natural conclusion.
Gran Casa! For my family's honor!
Nice. Serves you right.
Not...
Such a shame. Obviously, I expected this would happen. I wrote the script, after all. I take all possibilities into consideration and select the most exciting of them all, as a phenomenal playwright should.
You mean what she just fought was another one of your copies?
But of course, whether one faces mice or men, an enemy who doesn't fear death is one to be cautious around. Why would I fight as myself? I have a lot of fond memories with that one. It was my final copy. Well, once I gain the secret to self-replication, I'll make them endlessly. Which is why, Madam Oracle, you must die. Huh? What's this? Wait. This ring. It's supposed to provide magical support. No. It's... Mirage's ring. Damn her!
Is that Mirage's curse? It was the same thing used on Geaux. Don't take it personally. A spell that responds to the desire to kill me. Mirage's parting gift, huh? How very like her. However, this means that all of the society's witches are gone. And without Kit, I must put my faith in Nachiru and the Wandering Spirit.
All right, let's get on with it.
Defense is a good offense.
Chin up! I'll support you!
Saved me.
How you feeling?
Resistance is futile! Let's go! Great! Yeah!
So fast.
Yeah!
You're weak.
Damn it!
Yeah. That's pathetic.
Come! Makina! Let's go!
Right people, right place.
Get it together.
Great formation.
Take this! I'll support you!
I'll release the secret crest!
Defense is a good offense.
Yeah!
I missed? There! Misjudged?
Seriously? No way!
Easy, easy!
Luck!
Take the...
No way! Resistance is futile! Take me out! With the trash!
New strength, hmm?
I'll knock him out!
Gotcha!
Keep at him! Ah!
Die. Here I go! Defense is a good offense. Looks like that's done with. That's about right.
This is the fruit of my
Leveled
labor.
up.
My thighs.
Level up? Meow.
Again?
Auntie? Back? Back again?
What is it? More memories? Don't get too caught up in them. Forget the irrelevant parts and tell me what we need to know about her.
I can't just forget them. You don't know what it's like. I'm not like you. I'm not some amazing, revered prophet that everybody worships.
Revered? Worshipped? Very well. I shall tell you about my past. When I was young, before I became the Oracle.
What? Like, right now?
Just listen. I've never told anyone the story of my life before. I only vaguely remember it now, but my family were wealthy nobles. However, I didn't get along with my father. One day, I ran away from home and made for the royal capital. I was confident I'd be able to survive on my own given my powers of premonition. But I was just a child. Someone caught onto my powers. I was enslaved, but differently than now. They used me as a tool. My life became a cycle of escape and capture. I hadn't honed my powers yet.
But you had a home to return to, didn't you? Why didn't you go back?
I've never gone back home, not even once. That's how deeply I despised my family. And I knew they didn't want me back either. I learned my lesson. I stopped using my powers so I couldn't be exploited by adults. I lived, hiding my powers, until one day, at an orphanage in the royal capital, I met her.
You mean Kit Kat?
Yes, number 157. We called her Kit Kat. She's the one who saved me.
Number 157?
Yes, I was number 71. We weren't even permitted to use our own names. It was a prison disguised as an orphanage. We got along immediately, and shared our stories away from the adults' prying eyes. Claristia came from there as well.
Claris, too?
We fought to survive, clinging to our dignity, performing act after unspeakable act. Months, years later, we formed what would be the precursor to the Moon Society, the Witch Association. But eventually, the government found a way to use my premonitions for their politics and wars. When I predicted the destruction of the world, the upheaval phenomenon, that was when I became revered as the Almighty Oracle.
I had no idea.
Look, I didn't tell you all that because I want your sympathy. We all have dark secrets we want to forget about. That's exactly why we need to do the right thing when it counts. Is that understood, Nachiru?
Sounds like the ramblings of an old lady.
Maybe I am. I've lived much, much longer than you think. Well then, if you understand, tell me what you saw. I see. Go, huh? He was a despicable criminal we couldn't let roam free. We never truly intended to keep our end of the deal.
You weren't going to let him live, at least.
We weren't. I'm not ashamed of it. The morality of it isn't for me to judge.
That right. But it's why he destroyed the society, isn't it? For revenge?
Yes. His grudge drove his desire for our demise. That is all. Yet in the end, he was scorched by his own flame.
Why did Cece help him with his quest, anyway?
She's the real nuisance, but I don't yet know her true motives. What justice is it to some brat like her to destroy a world she knows nothing about? We must show her how much has been sacrificed in order to create and maintain this world, Nachiru.
You sound like the actual villain now, Yuru.
Now summon your Lantern de Phantasmagoria. You need to obtain the curio before she does, at any cost. If you do, I can handle the rest.
What are you gonna do? Not charge into the front lines, I'm guessing. Oh, what about your prophecies? Earlier, you said you could make a new one, right?
I cannot conjure a prophecy now.
Huh?
The current prophecy does not allow for any others to be foretold while it is in effect. A new one would defy this one, undoing it. The current prophecy took a great deal of time to create, and is my strongest one yet. It's why Kit gave up her life, so that this single prophecy may come to fruition.
So that's what Kit meant. Prophecies sure are fickle things. I figured them to be more, I don't know, infallible? Anyway, what does this prophecy say about what's gonna happen from here on?
You really are as clueless as the rest. Prophecies can only come to fruition if nobody knows what will happen.
But you had a prophecy about me when we first met, right?
Did I now? Any street corner fortune teller could have pulled that off.
Well, whatever. Even if Fanti retrieves the curio, won't she come looking for you here?
Of course. I'm sure Ghilruda told her about this place. I expect she'll be here soon. We'll simply wait until she arrives and fight her then.
How?
Summon the Brigade again.
I would, but I'm not exactly in top shape right now. Don't think it'll turn out well. What? Think you can take her? We'll be fine. Just stay hidden.
Auntie! Auntie!
Don't be afraid. I may not be able to do any spells, but I'm still an Oracle of the Sun. You can draw on my mana. Besides, the next time you use your own, it could drastically shorten your lifespan.
No! No! No!
Could this child be any noisier?
Periko, I'm fine. Really.
Listen closely, Nachiru. At the end of the day, a prophecy is just a prophecy. Only with your resolve will it become reality.
I know. I know.
Now then, Nachiru. We don't have much time. Summon Fanti!
Fanti, I have a hunch you're not too far from where you hid the curio. The labyrinth may have changed, but I can feel it. There are gonna be fights you can't avoid. Fanti, I know I'm always relying on you, but you have to get the curio first.
We're counting on you, Fanti!
Fanti, hold on a moment. There's a pillar here. Before we proceed, let me tell you now that the pillars have a strong aura. You could even call it a will. They'll seek to defend themselves. Unfortunately, the things aren't smart enough to recognize me as their creator. I'm not sure what's going to happen. It could summon a monster, or who knows what else from within the distortion. Either way, there's a chance something may appear to protect each pillar. Don't let your guard down, all right? Collector of mana, pillar of stone, I command you in my own name. Reveal yourself at once.
Don't lower your guard!
This'll do. I can stand.
I got you!
How you feeling?
Here's my all!
To your positions! Trash in your cans!
Whoa, that's nothing.
Resistance is futile!
Until it breaks!
Thanks!
Guess.
Go!
This is my chance! Take this! Yeah!
Here's my all!
To your positions! Trash in your
hit 'em with
cans!
How you feeling?
Resistance is futile!
Hit 'em with this!
I know!
Go!
Pathetic.
Time for the donut!
Yeah! Let's...
Here's my all!
Defense is a good argument.
No way! Here's my all! Let's take over and fight!
Can you hit? This is my
Just
chance!
right!
How you feeling?
Here's my all!
Until it breaks!
Defense is a good argument.
Now!
Ha!
You're weak.
Let's go! Yeah! Resistance is futile!
Form up! Nailed.
I missed?
Misjudged?
Yeah! Come! Machina!
This'll do.
Waited long.
That was close. That was close.
Resistance is futile!
This'll do.
Knock you out!
You're weak. Yeah.
Here I come!
The time has come. New strength.
You can count
Right
on
people,
me!
right place. Great formation.
Scatter! Victory, huh?
That's about right.
This is the fruit of my labor! Praise invigorates me!
again?
I'm catching up!
Can't seem to find Fenty anywhere. And things were going so smoothly before this. Guess I underestimated traversing worlds.
Nachi, what's wrong? Problem?
Yeah, sure is. Also, you need to call me Granny at all times. It's fine now, but start making it a habit.
Okay, Granny. Perico too?
You can stay Perico. You'll always be Perico.
Woohoo! Perico will always be Perico! And Yuri can just be Yuri?
I suppose so. Remember, you're to limit your interactions with her. She's always been rather fond of you, after all. There's no telling how your actions may complicate matters. Bite her or something to keep her from getting close to you. Oh. It was so simple all along. If Eureka's here, we could just have her become the Wandering Spirit's medium. Now there's an idea. With her clairvoyance, she could see everything that transpires underground. Plus, I'll be able to move about more freely, truly killing three birds with one stone. Well done, Perico. That was a memory from when I just arrived here. Seems the barrier is unstable, huh? Ah, well, on to the next one then. Alrighty, we're here. Let's get to it. You ready? Now come, Collector of Mana, Pillar of Stone. I command you in my own name. Reveal yourself at once.
Let's cross blades.
I'll knock him.
I made it. You're weak.
Chin up!
How you feeling?
Resistance is futile! to aim and shoot.
You're weak.
Whoa!
Here's my all.
Gotcha. Let's go.
Defense is a good offense. Go! Pathetic. You're weak.
Resistance is futile. Until it breaks.
Thanks.
To your positions! Trash in your can! Afraid? Was that a good hit? Yeah! Resistance is futile!
How you feeling? Let's take over. Ah!
I'll follow!
You're weak.
Resistance is futile! I'll show you what I can do!
Defense is a good offense. Ah!
Take the... I'll follow!
I'll match you. I get how this works.
This is my...
That was no way.
Whoa, you little... Let's go! Yeah! Yeah! Ha! Ha! Yeah! Come! Machina! Until it breaks!
Form up.
Yeah!
Now.
Blow up!
How you feeling?
Resistance is futile!
You're weak. What? You're weak.
I have no other luck.
Take me out! With the trash. A grit? Ha!
There. Secret crack.
Whoa! Saved me. I know.
I can
Here,
still
right?
fight.
Waited long.
You're weak.
Yeah.
I'm sorry for worrying you.
Guess this does it.
Everything. Take care.
Get it together!
New strength.
You can count on me!
Defense is a good offense. Time for the it's stalled!
Take that!
Those who survive win.
I'm stronger.
This is the fruit of my labor! I'll keep getting better and better! For my family's honor!
Did my hit rate go up?
I see. So you are the witch Marta?
That's right. I sure look the part of a witch, don't I? Or do you need some further proof?
Very well. Everything is coming together quite nicely. Right then. This way.
As detestable as ever, but seeing him again, he almost reminds me of someone else.
Oh, no need to worry about that. That thing's been unstable for quite some time. I'll show you where to put it in storage later.
That frame remained on the wall last time. But now that I've caused it to fall, it's going into storage. That means, despite fate's equilibrium, these variances make it impossible to predict what might happen. Therefore, it may be best for me to go about summoning Eureka myself. After everything that's happened to my memories, I can scarcely tell what's real and what's not. Good grief. My guess is that it's right here. Well, to think that I created 9 of these in just a few months. I sure worked hard. Now come, collector of mana, pillar of stone. I command you in my own name. Reveal yourself at once.
Let the battle begin!
To your position! Trash!
I got you!
In your cans! Resistance is futile! Let's go!
Defense is a good offense.
I get it now.
How you feeling?
Resistance is futile! Yeah!
Let's take over and fight. You're weak. Scatter!
This is my...
Time for the dono!
Mana, a raging stream! You little... Let's go! to aim and shoot. There. Let's go.
A threat?
Can you hit?
Now's my
Take
chance.
this, Mana. A raid now. Yeah. Let's go. Ha ha. Yeah. 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 Time to aim and shoot. Resistance is futile. Let's go. To your positions. Trash in your cans.
Scatter!
This is my chance.
Strike 'em!
I'll make it happen. To your positions. Trash.
I got you.
Resistance. Futile.
Blood. Everywhere. How odd.
How? What? Form up!
Too bad.
Ah! Take that!
Resistance is futile.
The obvious outcome. That's about right.
A natural conclusion.
This plate... It's that maid again, isn't it? Pardon me, madam.
If we're going to do this, now's our chance. All right, let's go. There it is. What a surprise! My memory is still pretty sharp. The Count is a puppet animated by the Manor's Mana. Based on his behavior, he doesn't seem to be aware of it. But there's no doubt. He seems to repair himself on a regular basis, but he was made quite a long time ago. He's at least a century old. His real identity is Cecilia's former husband, an artist named Maestro Bisto. Interesting. Turning her husband who betrayed her into a puppet. Then not only taking his memories, but binding him to the manor. My, how charming. I don't understand why he's gathering curio. Perhaps something from when he was alive is compelling him. Or maybe someone is ordering him to track them down, whether he knows it or not. I see. If that's the case, there's a chance she may come retrieve them herself. Regardless, seems like it's a good idea to put up a strong barrier around the premises. Also, I'll ask Perico to hunt rats so they can't interfere with the mana here. Well, I suppose the cat's an option as well. Don't worry about me. This is no big deal. Come on. We're low on time. Do the next one. Okay. Now come, collector of mana, pillar of stone. I command you in my own name. Reveal yourself at once.
Battle start!
Time to aim and shoot!
Waited long. I got you!
Resistance is futile! Let's go! I'll do my best.
You're weak!
Resistance is futile! Yeah!
Guess this... Go! Stop, pathetic! You're weak!
Mana, a raging stream! You little... Let's go!
Defense is a good offense.
Now! There! Let's go! Yeah!
Guess this does it. Scatter!
Mana, a raging stream! Make it hurt! Let's go! Time to aim and shoot!
There! Oh.
Mana, a raging stream! To your position! Trash in your cans!
That was quick.
keep getting better and
What's a
better.
hero without a...
Leveled up!
I grew again?
I'm catching up. Oh, did I get stronger?
Granny!
Oh, did you catch a rat already? But you can't talk while it's in your mouth. Come on, spit it out. Now go rinse your mouth. Oh, and make sure you don't get caught.
Got it! Leave it to me!
Hey! Ah, there she goes. She doesn't realize we can still hear her. Now, our real problem is this blob head. How much do you understand at this point in time, Fanty? Sorry to put it like this, but I haven't a clue what you're saying. Well, now that we've resummoned you into the young Missy, it's best if you act like she's your very first medium. Huh? It seems you're a lot weaker than you were when we first met. Goodness gracious. Now I get it. The present me must have been the one who gave you the abilities you had when we first met in the store. That means every time there's an obstacle within the labyrinth, I'll have to deal with it, or else we won't be able to move forward. Looks like everything's backwards. But I suppose there's no other choice. We'll have to start over from the beginning. Good grief. Well, for now, I'll go hide the catalog underground. It's for your lessons. I guess it wouldn't be too bad if I think of it as making up for my missing memories. Whoops! I apologize. I'm all right. On to the next one. It may be odd to say since I made these myself, but this one's tough. It's the 5th one. We're finally past the halfway mark. Collector of mana, pillar of stone, I command you in my own name. Reveal yourself at once.
Are you ready? Let's go!
You can count on me.
Let's take over and fight!
I'll support you! Can you stand? Resistance is futile! You little... Let's go!
Form up! Gotcha!
There! Yeah! Let's go! You can count on me.
Thanks.
Until it breaks! Time to aim and shoot!
Can you handle?
This is my chance!
Strike him!
Let's... There!
New strength, hmm?
To your positions!
I see.
In your cans!
I see.
Resistance is futile! Knock you out!
Thanks.
Ready for orders.
Go! Now's my chance.
To your position!
Take that!
I'll follow! In your cans!
I'll match you. After you.
Whoa! We won!
I'm stronger. Level up.
I'll keep getting better, and this is the first.
A natural conclusion.
As I expected. Seems like the connection between worlds is completely severed over here. There are other subtle differences between my first trip here and our current situation. Though I haven't the faintest idea if they're due to my foggy memory or the missing details in my auto reports. Ah, well, I suppose we'll have to rely on the Missy's clairvoyance. We'll have to investigate with perseverance, inconvenient as it is. Perico, dear, I'm heading to the royal capital. While I'm there, be sure to stay hidden.
I'll be fine. Leave it to me, Granny.
In our endeavor to avoid mishaps here, I do hope to prevent the revolution. But at least we were able to avoid Her Majesty's aging dilemma. And next, to address the prince's problem off stage. An earthquake. I wonder if the discordance is expanding. It's just like in Alstella. Good grief, what's happening? I anticipated a snag or two, but the discordance's quick development caught me off guard. Well, seems like I can't afford to be careless. After we take this out, only 3 will be left. We'll just have to power through. Now, Collector of Mana, Pillar of Stone, I command you in my own name. Reveal yourself at once.
Leave support to me!
Ready for orders.
Waited long?
Resistance is futile, you little...
Guess this does it. Gotcha!
Resistance is futile! Until it breaks!
Thanks. Defense is a good offense.
Can you hand? This is my chance! Strike him! Resistance is futile! Let's go! Time to egg.
What the?
Yeah!
After you.
Hit what? Let's go!
After you.
What? Resistance is futile!
You're weak. You're weak. You're weak. Misjudged.
I think I can do my best.
New strength,
You can count on me.
This'll do.
Whoa! Say if this is my chance!
There's no time to rest.
Take this!
New strength,
I know. Here, right?
That was. Release the secret crest!
It's garbage day! Take him out! Cleaning's done. That went well.
That's about right.
I'll keep getting better and better.
How did I get
For my
stronger?
family's honor.
I'm catching up.
Madam Granny. I'm so tired. He sure talks a lot.
Well, don't you worry about it. Go rest in your room for a bit.
Okay.
To think that after dealing with the prince, that old windbag would somehow show up. Next is... Yes, if I remember correctly, the criminal on the main road is probably that hunter, Hans. Guess we'll bring him in now while we still can. Actually, it may also be prudent to introduce him to the Queen. It's a risk, but it might turn out okay in the end. I guess we'll see what happens. This fake world may meet its end soon. But even so, I'd like the Queen to live as long as she can. All right. 3 left. Let's go. Sorry I made you wait. This sure takes its toll on an old body. All right, let's do it. Collector of mana, pillar of stone. I command you in my own name. Reveal yourself at once.
I'll kill you.
A great view! I'll support you!
You're weak.
Take me out! Can you stand?
How you feeling? Defense is a good offense.
There!
You're weak. You're weak.
Let's go! To your position! Trash in your cans!
Go!
This is my chance! Strike him! There!
Misjudged?
Let's go!
Defense is a good offense. Secret crest! I'll tear you apart!
Whoa!
Everywhere. How odd.
Until it breaks! To your positions! Trash in your cans! Take me out!
Whoa! Everything's going dark.
I'll
Scatter!
This is my chance!
Oh! Sorry. I'll get it right.
You're kidding! I can't. This is the best formation.
Dodge that was close. Defense is a good offense.
Can you? This is my
There's
chance!
no time. Gotta tell me. What's it on? New strength, This'll do. Blast it! New strength,
Ready for orders.
Can you handle it?
Dodged it.
Until it breaks!
New strength, This'll do.
Yeah! Yeah!
Gotcha!
Until it breaks!
New strength,
This is the best formation. Yeah! Say your prayers! Ah!
We did it! Did my skills increase?
Listen carefully, Perico. With Alstella's mana density, you were able to run around as you pleased. Without the ring's power, you'll revert to a puppet and fall to pieces once you step out of Galleria Manor.
Bah!
Do you know how long I spent scouring the forest for your little head last night? You're never to remove this ring. Understood?
Nachi! Look at my ring!
Hey! That's Granny to you.
Okay.
Don't forget I've asked you to go gather the pillar materials. The stones that repel mana are only found around here. Only a Manania can help me with this. So I'm counting on you. The stones shine red when you see them. Go out there and gather as many as you can find.
Okay. Leave it to me, Granny.
Phew. Well, I'm glad I was able to use the Missy's Pebble to replace Perico's ring. But the stone is a perfect match for the one that went missing. Seems like fate to me. I'm quite tired. But the first snow is already here. We're running out of time, aren't we? 9 total. Hopefully we'll get everything done before that day comes. But... I'm not getting any younger. Well, at least I can use my condition as an excuse to send them away while I work on what I need to do. I may not last to see the end of the discordance. Huh? Oh, don't worry. I'm just joking around. We've come this far. Just 2 more left. I'll be sure to make it through.
Let's start the hunt. I'll do my best. There!
Get it!
Waited long. You're done. How you feeling?
I know. Here.
You're weak. Time for the donut.
There! Let's go! I'll do my best.
I'll follow.
We aspire to do the impossible.
All right. 2 remaining. Collector of mana. Pillar of stone. My own name. I command you in my own name. Reveal yourself at once.
Battle start. A great
Waited long. I missed.
Chin up! There! Yeah! To your positions! Trash in your cans!
No chance.
Resistance is futile!
New strength, hmm?
You can count on me.
Defense is a good offense.
Whoa!
You're weak. Take that! Now's my chance!
Take this!
Take care.
Yeah! Yeah! Hey! Ha! Ha! Yeah! 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 Until it breaks!
What? New strength.
I'll show you what I can do.
I'll do my best! Keep at him!
No way.
Easy peasy! Resist! Until it breaks!
I'll knock him
Say
out.
your prayers! Easy peasy! I'll follow! Yeah! Yeah! Resistance is futile!
This'll do.
Keep that!
Pathetic.
All right!
How you feeling?
Resistance is futile!
Let's take.
Ha!
Now!
Keep at him!
I'll match you.
Here I go!
After you die.
Yeah! Yeah! Let's go!
Guess this does it. There's no time to rest.
Cleaning's done. That went well.
That's about right.
I'm stronger.
That's about right.
I'll keep you. Meow! Meow!
Leveled up.
Oh, did I get stronger?
Did my hit rate go up?
Where?
Madame Granny! I'm so glad you're awake!
If I remember right, you went home with her. After I finished the pillars, I went underground. I made a note of a strange symbol. That's when I lost consciousness. Which means, if I'm right, the revolution is tonight. But she'll...
What's wrong? Why are you staring at me? Oh no! Was my mouth hanging open again?
No. It's just... you really are a good girl.
Am I? It makes me kind of happy when you praise me like that.
Yes, you are. I suppose we might have always been saved by that aspect of you.
Eureka!
Oh, Nachi's calling. I'm gonna go, okay? Please keep resting, Madame Granny. I'll bring you some porridge later.
All right.
Hey there, Nashiru. How you feeling? You really don't look so good.
Oh, it's you this time. I really can't get used to that face. What brings you all the way here?
It looks like this world's gonna come to an end soon. This will probably be the last time we can talk. I don't think I'll be able to help you anymore.
That's so. Your sister coming to see me was one thing, but I'm surprised you showed up too.
Magic extended my life, but death is inevitable. My sister, though, she looks as young as ever.
Indeed. Looking back, I really hurt you, didn't I?
I was the one who made the choice. My memories might be in shambles, but I didn't care about dying as long as I could see you alive. I'm glad we were able to talk. I've always loved you, Nachiro.
To think we only had the chance to talk like this as soon as the world is about to end. Goodness. What a cruel twist of fate. I wish I could see your real face for the last time. It's not fair that I'm the only one with wrinkles.
If only I had any control over that.
Hey, we're running out of time, Mark.
I guess this is... goodbye.
Yeah. Goodbye, Nachiro. I'll be going now. I have to take care of the young ones for just a bit longer.
Yes, please. I'll leave them to you.
Madam. No. Nachiru. There's good news and bad news. The Oracle. She's passed.
I see.
But this fake world is still standing. That's the good news. It means you were right.
But that's only half of it. I should thank you as well. Thank you for protecting this place. I'm sure my barrier wasn't enough on its own.
I only hope I could be of some help. Possession has proved to be quite arduous. The hosts can't stay conscious for long.
Oh my! We can't afford to dilly-dally, can we? More importantly, how did it go?
I've been trying to limit contact with you to avoid arousing suspicion, but the bird person has been here day and night.
Oh? She sure has a lot of free time.
I believe her real form will be revealed soon. It's possible she's already here. Don't let your guard down.
I find comfort in knowing the Lunathal's Coral Sally is on my side. I'll heed your warning well.
The Lunathal. How nostalgic. Well, I'll leave the rest up to you, Nachiru.
Yes. I'm sorry I had to involve you in this.
Too late for that now, but I did it for Alstella. I only did what was expected as one of Yuru's witches. And besides, I'm grateful to you. For my brother. He can't stand up without help back home. It's not just because of his age. He's already in the final stages of the Ash Affliction. Despite all that, it's been so long since I've seen him in such high spirits. I'm glad the two of you were able to meet again before the end. This ended up being quite the speech. Well, I'll leave everything in your hands. Oh, that's right. While I'm at it, I might as well confess I've been enjoying my life here quite a bit. Perhaps this suits me better than I thought.
Don't worry about me. Just one more left. Well, things are starting to get quite serious. All right. This is the last one. Collector of mana. Pillar of stone. I command you, in my own name, reveal yourself at once!
Battle start!
This'll do.
Waited long.
Take me out! There! I'll do my best!
That was close.
There! You little... Let's go!
Defense is a good offense.
Can you handle it?
Pathetic. Time for the donut.
I'll make it happen! You little... Let's go!
Defense is a good offense.
Yeah!
Guarded.
Here I come! Oh, man! Let's go! Until it breaks!
Defense is a good offense. Now, here I go. That was
Too weak. Gotcha. It's garbage day. Take him out.
new strength,
You can count on me. I know. You hear, right?
Gotcha! Secret crest! I'll tear you apart!
Let's go.
I know.
There!
Resistance
right?
is futile.
I missed! You okay? Put the... Yeah! Defense is a good offense. I'll match you. After you.
There. Let's go.
After you.
Until it...
How? What?
I know. Get it.
Yeah. Yeah. Cleaning's done. That went well. I'll keep getting better and better. This is the fruit of my labor.
Did my thighs
Level up.
get bigger?
Meow.
Oh, this is nice.
Huh? Sally? Is that you?
Yes, it's me. I'm impressed you figured it out.
Why her? What happened to Toba?
She's home, asleep right now. I picked up this body at the manor. She got caught up in the mess and miscarried. Her mental state wasn't the best. She would have killed herself given the chance. I couldn't leave her on her own, so I possessed her instead. But our compatibility doesn't seem to be good. Whenever she feels quite strongly about something, she regains control. She would have made a good witch. Can you keep an eye on her until she settles down? Like I said, I couldn't leave her on her own.
Well, that's fine with me, but...
If I can't control her, make sure you stop her. 2 or 3 strikes should help me regain control. I know this isn't the best time, but if I leave her to die, I'm afraid I'll forget what justice is.
Oh. I think I understand why she hanged herself now. Here in this unstable world, the future is the past, and the past is the future. In the midst of that, she saw what was going to happen. And that fate's equilibrium would force a convergence to the predetermined end. And she wanted to put a stop to that, didn't she? She saw this future. No, perhaps she saw even further. She used to be such a little crybaby. I can't believe I let her do this under my watch. I'm sorry I couldn't save you, Eureka. Was that a dream just now? Still, Eureka. No matter the reason, I'll never accept your life as the price for a better future. That's why I won't let this other you die. I'll do whatever I can to shape the future we want without your death. That's why you have to wait for me, Eureka! All right, it's the 9th one. Well done, Fanti. This feeling, I think the time has finally come. Long ago, the Brigade and I defeated Cecilia's other self when she was in the original Aluna. But I can still feel her presence. It's even more powerful than the bird person. That means it's possible her actual self is here. Come on, let's hurry, Fanti. Like it or not, this will be the end. We have to go to Galleria Manor.
Are they dead?
Don't look too closely. It's not a surprise they're dead. Most humans can't endure the dense amount of mana there is. Oh! Aren't you Geaux?
I knew you'd be here. It's been a while. But thanks for what you did back then.
My. You still recognize me after all these years and all these wrinkles. I'm honored.
Huh. Never seen a witch with so many wrinkles. Surprised you didn't take the elixir. Anyway, I've never heard of using a fake world as the base for a new
Wuru. I've got to hand it to you.
Is that witch? Is Cecilia here?
Your guess is as good as mine. This just proves I was right to keep an eye on that broken Uru.
Granny!
Like I'd fall for that again.
You. What the hell are you planning? You can travel freely between worlds. If you aren't satisfied with this world, why don't you find another?
You are naive to someone of the same tribe. Moving means nothing if there's no chance I can reach the upper 26 regions. Luck brought me here. No way in hell am I giving it up that easy. Still, this world is far from perfect. One way or another, the discordance behind the UP will show up in both of the twin worlds. The discordance is the main culprit of this red sky, you know? But giving up on this world just to look for another won't do me much good. The worlds outside of the 26. The derivation worlds are so unstable they'll fall to pieces sooner or later. The darkness rolls around in waves. A calamity brought forth by what appears to be an army of shadow. I don't ever want to see that again.
What in the world are you yammering about?
It's a calamity that culls excess worlds. Nike, Velkuvrana, Slavitz, the UP. It's like a stray cat that wanders between worlds. People name it different things, but they're all the same. Though I guess it's the worst kind of visitor a world could have, since it takes the form of that world's fears. That's why our tribe aims for the upper 26. Me, Cecilia, and you too. We're the only people who can cross over to different worlds on our own.
The World Tree Tribe.
Yeah, but I guess Cecilia's witch pal destroyed our homeworld. According to her, anyway. Apparently we can use this place to get it back, though. We'll be part of the upper 26 again. That's why I'm helping her. I know it's a long shot, but I might as well give it a try. You interested in teaming up?
With you? Claris's murderer?
Suit yourself. At least now I can kill you without a second thought. Don't worry, I'm not into older women.
O mana which drifts in chaos. Become as fog, a whirlpool, a flame. Strike down this fool where he stands!
What? Setting me on fire. Don't make me laugh. I'm a pro when it comes to fire. I'll tear you to pieces!
Consider that a warning shot! I'm going to avenge Claris! Now, Fanti, let's do this! Come forth, Witches Brigade! Destroy him!
Let's get started! Time to aim and shoot.
I got you.
Get it together.
Can you stand?
Resistance is
How you
futile.
feeling?
To your resistance is futile!
Get it together!
No strength,
You can count on me!
I'll do my best! Can you handle it? Take this! There! Until it breaks!
Defense is a good offense. I see right through it.
This is my chip!
Take that!
This is my chance!
You little...
There! Until it breaks! I'll do my best.
Secret dive. Time for the donut!
Mana, a raging stream!
Let's go!
No strength, This'll do.
Now! I missed! The obvious outcome.
I'll keep this is the fruit of my labor.
Did my hit rate go up?
What? Were those soldiers? So that's what puppets can really do? No good. They're too strong. I have to escape. For now. I'll get out of here and tear them apart limb from limb.
You! What are you doing to Granny?
Again? You little shit. Damn Manania! Cecilia! Come here! Come on! Help! Help me!
So you managed to summon the puppet soldiers in this world. Well, I suppose the possibility was always there, given how dense the mana is. To think you'd be able to defeat Geaux Felmer, descendant of a family known for its battle prowess, I must say I'm quite surprised.
Cecilia.
Hey! What's that look for? I'm a man. Your memory manipulation won't work on... No. Don't tell me you... You... Stop!
Granny?
You're that girl, aren't you? Nachiru. I see. So it's been that long already. What a strange coincidence. Now, I suppose everything is as it should be. Just as fate has decreed.
That's rich, coming from someone who plays around with people's memories. You even turned your own husband into a puppet. But there's no point in talking about Aluna and Alstella after all this time. You should know we'll be sealing the discordance.
Sealing it? Do you really think you can? This is nothing more than the remains of a world in ruin. I'll thank you for what you've done, but your role in this is over now.
That's my line, isn't it?
The disruptions are getting more severe. This world is beginning to fall apart at the seams. Nachiru, it's time for you to bow out. Don't think I can't quash you like a bug. What awaits you is hell. An infinite labyrinth. I doubt your puppet soldiers, no, not even your wandering spirit would be able to reach that far. If its only option is to wander forever in the infinite expanse, it might as well just stay put.
I kept my promise, Granny.
That was quite the exodus. Let's go, Fanti.
Granny!
How can this be? Even though I'm so close. Is this my limit?
Kit, I'm scared.
You're the only one we can count on right now, Faust.
I understand. But are you sure about this? I mentioned before, but my ability to replicate still isn't perfect.
You're the only one that inherited Jill's powers.
Not entirely. I can't create a completely new body. Granny Nachi will probably never recover from the ash affliction, and her memory might be in shambles too.
Yeah, but I still think you should do it. I'll explain things to her when she wakes. So that's everything. Rue, you...
Is that so? It's unlike you to have such a grave expression on your face.
Granny Nachi, I'm sorry. If only I was better with magic.
It's fine. If it weren't for you, it would have already been over for me. If I had died there, that wouldn't have made for a good story at all.
But your memories...
Don't worry about that. Thank you, Faust. This is more than enough.
Granny? Granny! Granny, what's going on? Are you okay?
Granny! You... What are you doing here? Didn't you...
Yuri? Eureka couldn't be saved. But Perico's still here, and so are you. There's no way I'd leave you behind. And when I saw Perry...
You... Of all people, did something for someone else, and came back despite knowing the dangers. Never could I have foreseen that.
Granny! You okay?
Sorry, but my journey ends here. Perhaps it was fate that decreed I'd have to entrust everything to you.
What do you mean? Entrust what? What's going on with Galleria Manor? We have to get out of here.
Calm down and listen. This world, it's an imitation world. Do you understand? It isn't the real Aluna.
What?
Maybe it'll make sense if I explain it this way. You couldn't contact Kit Kat even once, could you? That's all the proof you need.
You know about Kit?
This world is going to fall into ruins now. The Discordance is behind this, and the UP too. Just as it was in Alstella.
What? What are you talking about? Who even are you, Granny? And everything you're saying about Alstella. My mom's still over there.
It's already in ruins. Mom is gone too. Now, this place will follow its path. Try touching me and Fanti with that curio in your hand. I'm you. You might not be able to understand everything right away, but it is what it is. You even know what I forgot. But you have your own future. Now, go on. I don't know what awaits you. That's why I want you to take Eureka and Perico with you. All three of you are going to seal the Discordance with Fanti. Once you do, there should be a way forward for all of you. Take whatever path you want.
But I just told you. Eureka's... dead.
You haven't realized it yet, even after seeing my memories. I had her take the elixir I was supposed to drink. I haven't screwed up yet. Now, go. I'm a little tired, so I'll wait right here. I'll be fine. So go on.
Damn it. How am I supposed to understand when you just dump all of this on me?
You're not wrong. The decision belongs to you. This is already a new world. So you can decide on your own what to do.
Granny! You can't die! You can't move! No
Perico, dear, thank you for everything. You were like a daughter to me.
What? What are you saying? Are you dumb? I don't get it! I don't get it! Perico doesn't get it! Granny! If Granny goes away, what happened to Perico? I know! I'll find the red thing if you want! I'll stop eating rats, too! Perico will be good! Promise! So, I don't want Granny to stop moving! I don't want that!
I wish I could have done more for you. But from now on, you'll have to think for yourself. Decide where you want to go.
No! I don't wanna! Nachi! Nachi!
Perico.
I'm truly happy. I've never been very brave. I lived my whole life following other people's orders, blaming them, and hiding behind my lost memories. But you didn't run away. Fate's equilibrium, convergence of fate. You taught me that a future exists. One that isn't decided by those sort of things. For the first time, I finally like the person I am. Thank you, Nachiru Colbert. We're our mother's daughter. She loved us deeply. Her love was so strong, yet gentle.
Yeah. What an old bat I was. Perico, you knew the whole time, huh? Come on. Let's go.
Huh? Nachi?
Yuri! You... I thought you were dead!
I guess I'm still alive. And my injuries are gone too.
I see. You took the elixir, huh? I'm glad. I'm really glad.
What's wrong, Nachi?
It's nothing. I'm surprised you got here on your own, though.
Huh? I wasn't alone. Kay came with me. She was actually still alive. Wait, we were just together. Perry! You're okay! Let me go! Ow! Wait, that's right. What about Madame Granny? Is she okay?
Yeah. She's fine. She's doing just fine.
Thank goodness.
Listen, Eureka. That red cloud is the cause of all this. It's called the Discordance. I'm going to seal it.
The Discordance?
I don't know if it's possible. And I don't know what I'm gonna do after I seal it. But Granny said there's gonna be a way forward. That's why, from this point on, I only want to move forward, to find something that doesn't exist yet. But when the time comes, I know I'm going to need your help to seal it. That's why I want you to come with me. I know this is really selfish of me to ask. Since we might die on the way, we might never be able to come back. But still, I feel like I have to do this. That's why I want you to come with me.
Of course! If you're in trouble, I'll help you any way I can!
I should have known you'd say that. All right, let's go.
I'll block it all! Let's take over and fight!
There!
You okay?
Take this!
Until it breaks!
Let's take over and fight! Don't get it wrong!
Yeah! Said yeah!
I'm back in it!
Resistance is futile! I'm ashamed.
Pathetic! No way!
Help, my... I think I can do my best.
Ready for orders.
You okay?
Afraid? So what? What? So get a taste of attack donut.
Echo!
Help, give it a try. I think I can do my best.
This'll... You okay? Scatter! Nonsense!
Until it breaks!
You okay?
Resistance is futile!
Echo! Seriously?
No way!
Darn. Everything's going dark.
I failed. I can still...
I'll join!
Was I...
Take me out with the trash. How give my blood's boiling. I'll make it happen. Better luck next time. This is the fruit of my labor. Have I improved?
I'm even cuter. JK. Battle start.
Let's take over and fight!
Get a taste
You
of
okay?
attack Donum.
Can you stand?
Waited long?
Hey! What? This'll do.
Yeah! No way!
I missed?
There!
Pathetic. After you.
Of course.
Until it breaks!
Nice formation!
Resistance is futile!
Pathetic.
What's going on? Take me out!
Darn. Everything's going dark.
This is our victory!
I never thought you'd make it this far. The Labyrinth was supposed to be impenetrable. So this is Yuru's power.
Cecilia.
You mentioned sealing the Discordance? How? There is no way of sealing it once it's been released. I'll do everything in my power to prevent you from doing so. You can't hope to win against me with your level of magic, not as I am now.
It's not just me. There's Fanti, the puppet soldiers, Eureka, and Perico too. Granny, she's also with us.
It's all the same in the end, with or without puppet soldiers. I have the power to plunge all before me into oblivion.
Granny and Fanti showed me everything they've faced until now. We might not be able to do it, but sealing the Discordance is definitely possible. I'm sure of it.
I do not understand. Humans cannot even stop the UP once and for all, much less the Discordance. Humans are powerless against nature. Every move I've made against you has been a matter of mercy. Know that if I want you dead, it is well within my power. Though I suppose you would have never come this far had you been quick to yield.
If you let the Discordance continue to grow, this fake world will collapse too, right? What's the point of all that?
Very well. Since you've come all this way, perhaps I'll allow you the honor of hearing my plans. I will create a world where my lost children, my dead children, are alive. If the Discordance destroys this world, I can use this as the basis for mine. The chances are slim, but I will take my chances. When that happens, the curio will be nothing more than tools to operate the manor. If it succeeds, then, as I said, due to the complete extinction of the twin worlds, a new world will rise in their place.
No way. If it doesn't work, then...
everything will simply fade away.
Isn't there any other way? There has to be!
Puppets, Manania, replicated bodies. There are countless ways of imitating life. But it's impossible to revive a dead person that once housed an actual soul.
Then why destroy the world?
That's precisely why. Reviving a human requires nothing less than the total obliteration of the world.
But Granny hoped for a world where the Discordance is sealed. We all do. I won't let you end it.
So you want to fight? Be warned, I've now reclaimed my full strength. I don't particularly enjoy combat, but you are mistaken to think you could defeat me.
I'll show you the power of the Kami clan, the most outstanding witches in the World Tree Tribe!
Fanti!
Fanti, stop Cece! I'll take care of the rest. Witches Brigade! Come forth!
Don't lower your guard!
Let's take over and fight.
You okay?
I got you. Meet it.
Resistance
How
is
you
futile!
feeling?
I'll do my
Can you
best!
stay okay?
Go!
Get a taste of Attack Donum! Until it breaks!
What?
Ready for orders. Yeah!
No way! Dodged it! Dodged it!
Take me out!
Lauren,
Time for the...
Lauren, everything's going dark.
Until it breaks!
Ready for orders.
You okay?
After dawn.
Take... Yeah! Are you
How
okay?
you feeling?
Until it breaks!
Ready for orders.
Ha! Ha! Ah!
Huh? Dawn.
Yeah! Bull!
Pathetic.
Are you okay? Until it breaks! I'll do my best.
There.
Ha! Ha! Yeah! Yeah! Ah!
That was close. Huh?
There! Yeah!
Pathetic.
Chin up!
What?
Great!
There!
Are you okay? Chin up! Until it breaks! Until it breaks!
There!
Are you okay? Yeah! And was that a good hit? Until it breaks!
Defense is a good off. Take. I'll match you. Ha! After you, pathetic.
There! What? Until it breaks!
This'll do. There. Those who survive win.
What's a hero without a cause? Fanty! Don't kill Cece!
So this is the extent of my abilities. I never thought I'd lose. However...
Memory manipulation?
I may not be able to erase that wandering spirit's memory, but without you two, it's powerless.
Naughty!
Last time you outwitted me, but her memories were completely erased, weren't they? If you have any lingering hopes of regaining your memory again, I suggest you abandon them. Now, you'll fade into nothingness!
This is your curio!
What? Why is it? I see. It's from this world.
Of course it is!
Bisto, drinking again?
At a time like this, how can I not? Am I not allowed to forget my sorrows?
Bisto. Why did it end in a miscarriage again? That makes everyone. I'll just do it as many times as I need to, over and over again. As long as the children's souls are in the curio. I have no choice but to give birth now. But I'm already at my limit. And Bisto is... Finally, it's over. the eternal resting place for my children. Testaurant, Galaya, Est, Suya, Mora, Radamulia, and Merkatza. This is your resting place. Please be at peace forever. May your souls find solace. They will never come back. For all eternity are long gone. Those old days. The children. Children's souls will rest here. Galleria is a giant gravestone. Forgive me, my children. For my wrongs. Rest in peace. And to help you sleep, I promise you, I'll rock a cradle here every day. I'll sing you a lullaby for 100 years. And tell you a bedtime story for 1,000 years. Until this life of mine has come to an end. As your mother, How will I be able to endure this suffering? That's right. If I erase just a little, if I destroy just a portion of this painful memory, the suffering should subside.
How can this be? This can't be. It can't. My wish wasn't for a new world. It wasn't to bring them back to life. My wish was for my love towards my children to endure forever. For their souls to rest forever. That's what it was. That's all it was. What have I done? It seems your plan will bear fruit. I will seal the discordance myself. That's what you were after, wasn't it?
Yes.
Very well. I will aid you. But the only thing I'll be able to do is seal its overwhelming power. Souls sealed within the curio. All your feelings, wishes, and your hopes. Free yourself to become a work of art! Crest of sun and moon, Galleria Manor. Become a vessel for these souls. Transform their feelings and seal the discordance.
turn! This is our final battle!
Come forth, Witches Brigade! Seal the discordance!
Are you ready? Let's go!
Equipment.
Get a taste of a attack donut!
Check.
I got you!
Can you
still?
I'll support you!
How you feeling?
Thanks!
There aren't any cuties, are there?
And you just caught! Night! Yeah! Caught! Night! Caught!
You're dodged it! Misjudged? How you feeling? New strength.
Thanks!
I got you!
Let's go!
I'll support you! This sure is a pain.
Caught! Yeah! Night! Caught!
How you feeling? Guess this does it.
Can you stand?
Take
Yeah!
Take this! You okay? You!
Thanks! Thanks! Until it breaks!
I got you!
Yeah! Oh, nice! Nice!
I'll match you. Here, do.
Take this! What's take care? Oh, how you feeling?
Until it breaks! Thanks!
This is the best formation. Are you okay?
I do.
Until it breaks!
Can you stand?
It's time for my revenge!
Resistance is futile!
Seriously? How did that happen?
Hunt done! Thanks for the hard work!
That's about right.
What's a hero without a cause?
I'm even cuter! JK!
So you've managed to seal it.
What is that?
It's like a baby discordance.
A baby? What are you going to do with it?
I will fly out and simply dispose of it outside this world.
But...
If you do that... Cece, you're really hurt too!
need from me?
At least let us patch you up.
I don't have time for that. Assuming we never meet again, I'd like to thank you for bringing me back. Thank you, Machiru.
Nachi, Yuri, Periko's gonna go with Auntie.
What? Why? What are you talking about?
Periko has to go. Granny said make my own decisions. Bye-bye. Nachi, Yuri, bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Hey, Periko! Periko!
Let her go, Nachi.
Nachi, when Nachi becomes Granny, tell Granny about Periko, please. Bye. Periko!
Why did you come here? It's too late. Too late to turn back. What is your name?
Periko. Nachi gave it to me.
That's a lovely name. By the way, what is that ring you're wearing?
This? I got it from Nachi. It's my treasure.
Is that so?
What's wrong? Do you want it?
No. It'd make me happier if you held on to it. There's a favor I'd like to ask of you. Is that all right?
What favor?
I'm frightened. Would you please hold my hand, Periko?
Leave it to me.
Thank you. Your hand is very warm.
Periko's hands are always warm. Hey. Hey, Auntie? What's your name?
I see. My journey must have led me to this very moment to meet you.
I've always been enthralled by a story. A picture book. I read it when I was a child. It told of a goose. The eggs she laid were of solid gold. Every single day, she laid one egg. But her owner wasn't satisfied with only one golden egg. She believed there were many, many more to be found inside of the goose. Just like that, she opened the goose's belly. There were no eggs, no gold. Inside the butchered goose was nothing but its bloody entrails. Those who have plenty want more and so lose all they have. That is the moral of this tale. But if you ask me, it's a silly one. Who are we to scorn her? A woman seeking to better her life, who did so at her own peril. And I wonder, if I were her, would I have done the same thing? Would I then be the one scorned? If that's the case,
Yuri, take your pendulum out. Look for Fanty.
Okay!
Oh.
Nachi! Fanty and I got separated! What should we do? Can we even get back?
Yeah. I don't think we can.
Well, I guess that's okay. Since I'm with you. At least we won't age here, right? We'll be able to talk forever.
What are you talking about? No way I want to be stuck with you forever.
What? But I have fun with you, Nachi. I'm okay with it.
Wait. Did that book's effects already wear off?
Huh? Maybe.
We're so far away from Maluna. Even the curio don't work anymore, huh?
Sorry. I would have been able to think of a way back if I was smarter.
Huh? What are you talking about? You're way better like this. I like you just the way you are, Yuri.
Really?
Come on, look towards the entrance. You'll see something interesting.
Huh? Nachi?
Sheesh. You're such a dummy.
What should I do? I can't stop! Nachi! Nachi!
It's okay. Just go. This world is originally your world. It's the eternal world Cece wished for. It might not be the best, but it's a world of dreams. An eternal refrain where it'll be happy forever and ever. A world where the goose will keep on laying its golden egg. A kind, sweet world. But I'm sure this isn't bad either. If possible, I would wish that you'd forget everything and live happily ever after.
Nachi! I have to do something! There has to be something I can do!
Goodbye, Eureka. Sorry I was so mean to you. Please give Fanty my best, and tell it I said thanks.
Nachi!
If that's the case, I'm sure I won't remember anything. The goose, the golden eggs, and even my name.
For me?
Yes. It's in your best interest to keep it close. That is what I wished for when I lost my memory. Please consider this as another option. Now that I've recovered my memories, I believe this is the only way to save the world. I have an old friend that's quite the straight-laced fellow. If you meet him, he'll show you the way. As long as you have Yuru's, the Oracle's power, you may be able to bring about a different outcome.
Huh? What do you mean? Where am I?
Huh? What are you doing here, miss? And why are you crying?
Huh? I'm crying? Why?
Hey! I said wait. Kid, you sure got lots of energy. You ever think about being a hunter? Huh? Snow?
Snow? I feel like I've forgotten something important.
Miss, you'll catch a cold if you stay here. Come to our house. We got a fireplace.
Is there something wrong?
Huh? No, it's nothing. I'm sorry. I just got the feeling someone was watching me.
This manor hasn't been used in a very long time. Nobody start trying to scare each other, got it?
Let's go, miss. It's getting cold.
Okay. Labyrinth of Galleria, the Moon Society.